What's up everyone, Tyler Medeiros here and welcome to TylerMedeirosTV. For those of you who are not subscribed, you can subscribe down below so you don't miss a video, and for those of you that are, welcome back. In today's video, I'm joined by my lovely girlfriend, Haley Reese.
Hi guys!
And we are going to be getting into this long awaited for video, us living in a haunted house part 2. We have a lot of updates, a lot of really creepy updates, and we're just really excited to let you guys in on what has been going on around here. After our last video, things kind of settled down for a little bit. I would say maybe about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we kind of thought, you know, once we spoke about them, maybe, you know, they moved on from here. But weirder things started to happen, weirder than even before. So we're just really excited to let you guys know what has been going on.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what's crazy is since we last spoke with you guys, as you said, things have gotten a lot stranger and we've been seeing things manifesting before us that we weren't seeing before. So it's definitely eerie.
And one thing that we actually just spoke about yesterday that I didn't even know that she had been noticing, it was something that I've been noticing, but I wasn't sure if my eyes were kind of playing tricks on me. And once I brought it up to her, she's like, oh my god, I've been seeing the same thing.
Especially when you weren't here.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it even eerier, because it's almost like it appears to you, but then it appeared to me because you weren't there. Yeah. It was creepy.
Well, we're going to be getting into this. There's a lot to talk about. And also, not only are we going to be updating you guys about the haunted house, but we're actually going to try and communicate with what has been lingering around in this house. I know that it's not exactly the best idea, but we are very confident that we know how to protect ourselves and just not let these evil things, if there is something evil around, attach to us. So yes guys, like I said, we're going to be using the spirit portal to communicate with what has been lingering around in this house, and I'm really excited about that. But right now we're going to be getting into giving you guys the update of the experiences that we've been having. So would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. So one of the big things that happened since I last spoke to you guys here on Tyler's channel and we last filmed is we actually decided to sage and cleanse the house because we felt as though there was a heavy energy. We don't necessarily feel like what's here is here all the time, but it definitely frequents here, which makes sense because it could be the things that I do and what I talk about that attracts those things to our home in particular. But there is something here that's heavy and it feels a little bit off. So we decided to use some holy wood rather than sage just to clear out whatever is dark here. Because for those of you who don't know, sage takes away all energies like that, whereas holy wood only takes away the negative energies and allows the positive ones to exist. So we lit the wood and we were cleansing the office to start, and all of a sudden we saw what looked like these little black squiggles in the air. Like, we'll have to insert a clip because it's so peculiar.
Yes, we have a clip that I'm going to be inserting, but to sum it up, basically how you guys can kind of get an image of it is, what are they called? The dandelions? When you blow them? Yeah. So it's pretty much, if you were to blow a dandelion, it was little pieces of those things that would be floating around from the dandelion.
But black.
But black. And it was just really strange. We were using the holy wood around the whole house, and we got into Haley's office, which is where she does all of her filming. And we didn't even notice it at first. You know, we were just saging all the corners and everything. And we were just feeling the energy, and we noticed these things kind of floating around us. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the clip right now, guys, so check that out. So there is that little clip that we managed to capture, and if you guys have seen anything like that before, please let us know because we haven't seen anything like that.
And we haven't seen it since. And it was weird because it was only happening within the office. We would go and burn that same piece of holy wood out in the hallway and it was just regular smoke, but in the office it was like this darkness was kind of floating through the air. It was very odd. As if it was making the darkness disintegrate, but it was allowing us to kind of see that energy kind of
disappearing.
Yeah.
But it was really strange. That is kind of where things
Progressed from.
Yeah, kind of progressed from that, which I found strange. But we have a lot of different experiences. I was one day sitting on the couch and I was just watching TV, and I happened to look over, actually just behind me over here, and I looked over and I couldn't see a figure, but I could see a little bit of like a shadow, and it wasn't really a shadow of like a person. It was just kind of like just a figure, like just a mass. It wasn't like you could see arms, legs, anything like that. You
explained it in the moment as like a hooded figure, like as if they were wearing a cloak or something.
It was literally as if someone threw a blanket on them to be, you know, a typical ghost.
Yeah.
It just looked like a dark sheet that was just standing there. I looked quickly and I looked back and I was like, wait a minute. And my mind made me look back again. They're like, wait a minute, I saw something. So I looked back again and it was gone. And I was like, babe, like I swear I just saw something over there. And then Haley had an experience with that same figure.
Yeah, I had an experience upstairs the one day. I was going up the hallway and I thought that I saw Tyler like kind of hovering, kind of hiding from me in one of the rooms. So I thought, oh yeah, okay, very funny. So I went to go sneak up on him to be like, yeah, okay, I saw you. And the thing that I'd seen like kind of like scurry in the room that looked hooded wasn't in there. There was nobody in there. And I yelled out to Tyler and he was downstairs editing a video. So he wasn't even upstairs at the time that I'd seen it. And when I described it to him, I said, it almost looked like you were hiding under like a sheet and going quick. He's like, that's kind of what I saw, but you saw it in a dark hallway. So it looked like more of a mass than me during the day seeing something upstairs. So it was very odd, and going off of that too, the dogs have been having experiences, and it's interesting because where Tyler claims he saw the hooded figure, that's where Blue very often, when it's late at night, will look over there and her fur will stand up, or she'll just stare intently as if she sees something that we can't see there. We've actually taken pictures of her doing this, so we'll insert some of those pictures here now. But both of the dogs will wake up out of a sleep and stare at the same section of the room, growling at whatever's there. Another thing that happened was my dad and his husband actually came to stay with us for a little bit, but they were in and out of the house because they actually live in another province. So when they're here, they go and visit family, etc. And the one day I woke up a little bit late and I came downstairs and Tyler was out filming, and I assumed that my dad was upstairs still for some reason. So I'm downstairs in the kitchen making coffee. I hear him walking around, well, what I think is him, and then come to find out that nobody was home. Everybody had already left the house, and that leads us into the consistent footsteps in the night.
Yeah, so it's actually all the time.
All the time.
We'll be down here during the day, and Blue loves to, when we're not looking, go upstairs and run around.
We have baby gates now, but she loves to finagle them and find her way upstairs and run and have the zoomies in the upstairs hallway.
So we'll be, you know, working or making food or something, and then we'll hear, you know, Blue running around upstairs. And we're like, oh God, you know, we gotta go get her. But there's often times that we hear that it sounds like something is upstairs, and I look at her and I'm like, oh, Blue went upstairs again, like I gotta go get her. And then she's sitting on the couch like, what are you talking about? I'm not upstairs, I'm right here.
And late at night, so something that I should mention is Tyler has a tendency, I know it's not healthy, there's gonna be a doctor in the comments saying that's not proper sleep, but he will sleep with the TV on. And if he wakes up and the TV's off, he'll like wake up and turn the TV back on. He likes to have noise, he doesn't like to sleep in silence. However, there's been plenty of times where lately we've both been waking up at exactly 3 a.m., both of us.
Like exactly 3
on the dot. And the TV's off because we were sleeping. It has like automatic shut off. And so we look at each other because it literally sounds like somebody is going up and down the stairs or walking around down here, but we have an alarm system, and if anybody would have came inside, it would have obviously triggered the alarm system. So there's been so many times where even when he's sleeping and I'm awake or vice versa,
or I'm laying in bed.
Yeah, I'm laying there and I'm thinking, did we set the alarm today? Like, it sounds like somebody is inside of our house. And I'll check on my phone, and sure enough, the alarm is completely on and it's in full swing and all of the sensors are cleared, but we can actually hear footsteps downstairs.
Yeah, oftentimes, you know, when I wake up at 3 a.m., I like to stay awake. It's hard for me to really go back to sleep right away. So I like to watch TV for a little bit and I'll relax, and then I end up going back to sleep eventually. But during that time, it's as if someone is walking around down here.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what that really is about, but we both have been experiencing that, and with the sound of what we think or thought was Blue upstairs running around, and she wasn't.
Yeah.
It makes sense that it would be going on down here when we're not down here. So that's really freaky.
And then another thing was this past week, Tyler and I were both sleeping, and I had, honest to goodness, you guys, the most horrible nightmare ever. It was about Satan, and it was like really, really, really messed up. And I woke up like in a sweat, like in a panic. And right, like a few seconds later, Tyler wakes up and tells me he just had the most like horrific dream too. And did you ever say what your dream was? You never really told me.
No, I couldn't really.
He doesn't really remember
dreams. When I woke up, but I know it was a bad dream. Like I was doing some crazy stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, like,
yeah,
this is just nuts.
Because I don't remember him telling me, but Tyler, like, whenever he dreams, it takes a really special dream for him to actually remember it. Otherwise, it's just gone within the few moments of waking up. But I found it really interesting that we both had, like, a bad dream on the exact same night at around the exact same time. And, yeah, that was just eerie, and the dream was horrible.
Now, another thing, like I was talking about before, that I didn't even notice that she had noticed, I thought it was just me, I thought my eyes and my mind were playing tricks on me, is around our bed we have lights, like you could kind of see up there above the kitchen. We have lights around our bed.
LED lights.
Yeah, and our bathroom is in front of the bed. And we have a really nice big mirror inside the bathroom, and you could see the headboard, of the bed through the mirror, so you could see the lights that go across the top of the headboard. So with that being said, sometimes I'll be laying in bed. I didn't know that she had experienced this as well, but I'll be laying in bed and it kind of seems like a shadow kind of blocks the light for a second. It's as if a shadow just walks past like the doorway, and you look at the bathroom like, wait a minute, did something like go past in there, or like what's going on, or like did I move my knee in front and it's just like blocked my vision while I'm looking at the TV. So when I found out that she was actually having the same experience and she noticed the same thing, it just made me feel not so crazy.
Yeah, Tyler went to go and help his grandmas. I think this was last week, and I was obviously alone in the room. He went overnight to help them, and I was laying there in bed watching TV, and it was dark everywhere but the LED lights that I could see in the mirror. And I thought for a second, like it just wasn't logical, but in the moment I thought for a second that Tyler was at the house and had like walked past the bathroom door. So I went to look and see, because the same way like the light kind of went out, I went to look and see if he was there, and then I realized, wait, Tyler's not even here. And I was so confused by the experience, and then come to find out he's been experiencing that too. So it was pretty interesting.
And it's fast, like you don't even notice it. And if our lights weren't on behind the bed, I don't think we would have ever noticed it, just because we have that reflection of that line through the mirror, and then all of a sudden, for just a split second, your mind thinks that it was like darkened for a second, or that something went past it. And so I was happy to know that I wasn't the only one having these experiences, and that maybe something really is going on and my mind's just not playing tricks on me.
Yeah.
But I think it's really interesting that things didn't stop after we cleansed. I don't know if, like we said earlier, that something is coming in and out, so even when we cleanse,
it can still come back.
Yeah, it comes back because it's not attached to the house or anything in the house. So I think that may be the reason why, we keep cleansing and surrounding ourselves with crystals and stuff, and these happenings continue to happen.
Also, I mentioned it in my video, but things have been like weirdly placed, like in my office. That was terrible grammar. Things have been like moving in the sense, because when I was in my office, the one morning I woke up and my astrology book was off the shelf and just like laying perfectly in a way that just didn't make sense. I kind of like was thinking,
yeah, I remember that.
How would it have fallen if it had just fallen? And the way that it was laying didn't make sense at all.
Now, also something else that has happened that was absolutely crazy, and a lot of people saw it. is we were live on game night. For those of you that do not know, we go live right here on TylerMedeirosTV every Saturday at 7 p.m. You guys can tune in and play a game with us. But number one, we've captured multiple orbs during game night. Number two, this one night, something really unreal happened, and we have no explanation. I have a clip of it. I'm going to get the clip from game night and insert it. But while we were sitting there and playing the game, we ourselves did not see...
We didn't see it.
...anything fly past the camera, but I noticed it through the camera, and it was on game night.
And everybody started commenting saying, oh my goodness, there's a fairy, like there's a fairy that just flew by. And we were so confused by it. I said, can somebody please send us that clip? And they did. And when I rewatched it, I was like, we don't have any flies in here, any moths in here, like anything. Like
no, the funny thing is we had a fly in here that day because it was on the camera earlier. And you're like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's just a fly. And then later on, that big thing came through.
It did not look like a fly though. It was
not a fly. It was like this big, but you guys will see the clip. I'll show you guys the clip and then you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about.
This will be interesting. Name 3 diamond cuts.
Square, circle. What the hell was that?
So there you have it, guys. That's the clip that we caught on game night. And if you guys have any idea of what that could be,
yeah, please tell us, because
we're
not sitting here acting like we know what it is. We're very confused by it. We would love to know all of your thoughts and theories on all of this, because it's interesting. This home is a new build, so I think it's only around a year old, and well, probably a year and a half now. But the home's a new build. However, we don't know what the land is, and with the condo, we never had any experiences. So this is all new to us, to be in a home that's actually having experiences since we've lived alone together. Because we both had haunted houses growing up, but not alone.
Yeah, so it's been really interesting. I want to know what you guys think of all of that down below in the comments, and if you guys can figure out what that thing was that flew by during game night, I would love to know, or even what you guys think it may be. But our minds are just blown that, you know, one thing just happens after another, and once we think like, oh my god, that was strange, the next thing that happens is even more strange, right?
So we think what we're gonna do now is get into using the spirit portal and see if we can have a conversation with whatever has been haunting us and around here, and kind of get an explanation for it. And then afterwards, we're definitely going to cleanse our house and cleanse our space, and only allow spirits in that are of white light and good.
So yes, guys, we're going to be using this portal to communicate with whatever is lingering around the house or passing through. But I'm really excited. You excited?
I think we should just do it.
Let's do it.